September 25th, the new Fox Tuesday kicks off with New Girl's new season. Then welcome Ben and Kate.
Stay away from my sister before you find out what 6 years of Krav Maga feels like. Well, like year and a half plus like 4 years on and off I was traveling.
Followed by another all-new New Girl.
What am I looking at here?
Pure, unadulterated friendship.
And the Mindy Project.
Can't believe you're tattling.
Tattling is when a little girl does it, okay? When a hot woman does it, it's called whistleblowing.
The new Fox Tuesday, premieres September 25th on Fox.
You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Bar Rescue After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Bar Rescue After Show.
Wait, is that Caribbean music? We're all like, wait, where are all the Caribbeans?
Like
I'm just kidding, Marissa. What was that?
It.
Pirates of the
Caribbean.
Oh, is it Caribbean? Caribbean? I don't know. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bing is for doing it, and we are here tonight doing another episode of Bar Rescue. We are in season 2, and this is episode 7 called Webbers of Lies. It's not Weebers, right? It's Webbers. Webbers of Lies. I'm your host, Kimlai, and I am joined this evening by 2 amazing women. And camera go.
Dorinda Barker.
Nancy Hadley.
Yay! We do our own shout outs. And then we also have 2 little special guests joining us. Larkspur.
Lesper.
Hello, Lesper. We'll call you Lesby for short. Larkspur and Isabel. And these are Nancy's daughters. And Larkspur happens to be a 9/11 baby. So we're so glad that you guys are here with us today. Because it is a special day. I saw some of your posts today.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Thank you.
It was very, very, very nice.
And beautiful.
Right? Mm-hmm. They had stuff on the Today Show. I mean, obviously all morning talking about, memory and people forgetting about what happened, or they, stuff. Because you never want to forget about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Someone asked me too if I did my nails, if this was a tribute to the and I'm like, yeah, this is the Twin Tower. I don't know. What do you say? Really?
You just say yes.
Who comes up with that?
Well, I mean,
you never know.
2 nails.
I know yours are pretty fancy schmancy too. I noticed.
Oh, is that gold?
Yeah.
See, gold. It's
Oh,
gold.
nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've got a lot of ladies going on here tonight, and then we have Marissa back in the booth as well. So
Hey, Marissa.
got a lot of. Is it estrogen?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we hope.
Well, yeah, it's
Definitely
probably a lot
not
of testosterone. However,
Left that at home.
Okay, so tonight we're doing the recap for Weber's Bar and Grill in Reseda, California. And I was not able to get a hold of the owner. The phone kept going to a voicemail, which was full. So I'm not sure. I was like, are they open? I don't know if they're still open, but
I was trying to look at the reviews, and
they're still getting them.
There seem to be reviews about live shows, so it sounds like he might have gone back to his live venues, the music. Which, when we talk about it, we can discuss what we did to try and help him.
Absolutely, absolutely. I saw some of John's tweets today, and he had tweeted someone had asked him about the bar, and he tweeted back to them. He goes, "Oh, it's sad that they went back to their old ways."
It sounds like they did. Yeah,
obviously they probably did.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
and if you watch, when we talk about it, it discusses what we think happened. So.
All right, let's get into it, shall we? Let's get into it. All right, so I think the main theme of this episode was stealing.
Yes.
Yes.
This was my least favorite episode so far.
I have to say that for this, I enjoyed the transformation. That was really fun, but the story was a little different. Mm-hmm. And I love John's response when he was getting attitude back from that staff. I was very
What do you mean when
impressed.
she's like, pipe it down, player?
Pipe it down.
Someone's furniture's about to be replaced.
No, rearrange your
Rearrange
furniture.
it. That's
And she's-
it.
I about died. I was like, ghetto.
I just love it when he said you're full of something that I won't say in front of the girls.
Yeah.
Right.
He called her out.
Yeah.
I just, okay.
And that was right off the bat. Right off the bat. Like, she didn't even give him time to say a word. And she just went right into Rodiah. Rodiah. She had Rodiah-isms today. Like, John Taffer normally has Taffer-isms. She had Rodiah-isms because they were priceless.
She was funny. I thought from the get-go. I mean, she got defensive really fast.
Yeah, no reason.
And, she didn't like the way he talked to her. It was very offensive, even though it wasn't directed towards her.
No, she was taking it personally
but
instantly.
But what is it that people say? Sometimes if it isn't about you, but you're the first person to get defensive, guess what? It is about you.
Is that the same? She was trying to ask me about sayings earlier, and I'm just like, which one? I don't know. What seconds?
Yeah, and then I remembered that saying. We'll talk about that when we get more into it because it goes with what Curry said.
It's not like the...
Okay, well, why don't we start off with they actually go straight into the kitchen and then the bar, and then they confront the employees. Because for some reason, I thought they had confronted the employees first.
No, because Keith goes in.
But they went straight into the kitchen.
Yeah, because Keith's food was just awful.
That was the first issue.
Yeah.
Yes, because he was waiting there for 1922. It was a few.
Yeah, he was there for like 20 minutes while they were dancing on the bar. Not on the bar.
Not on
in
the
the bar.
Behind the
in the bar. I danced on a bar or two in my lifetime. But the fact of the matter is they were dancing and he's sitting there waiting. I mean, give me a break. They were synchronized, so that actually did look nice. But
Oh my goodness.
So it was actually a performance.
it was a performance. But the fact of the matter is they weren't taking care of their customers.
No,
whatsoever. And then when
No.
he did get the food, it was not. Yeah.
So he goes into the kitchen, and I think they all went in there because we had John Taffer, Michael Tips,
Yes.
and
Keith Jones.
Chef Keith Jones. Mm-hmm. And so I think they all went into the kitchen because I saw Keith Jones in there, and then John was in there, and I heard Michael's voice. So I think they were all in the kitchen, and I felt bad for the cook. Dorinda's like, is she on drugs? It's like, not every slow person is on drugs, Dorinda.
Her pace was just a lot slower than you can afford in a kitchen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The whole episode was like that.
Yeah.
And
It was a slow episode, you mean?
No, I mean,
she
her
was like
pace,
that. Okay.
the way she talked, her response when she went to go get product, when she was cooking.
Yeah.
It was slow. The whole thing was slow.
No sense of urgency or
No.
pacing.
No, not at all. And then finding the chicken blood, I was telling Dorinda earlier, I was like, that chicken soup that they found, because I forgot it was chicken blood. But that, I'm assuming that it's sitting in there that long, like, even though we can't see it. Oh my God, people are going to think I'm on drugs.
Hot
Even
zone.
though we can't see, it rotting down there,
Yeah.
there's probably things contaminating the
for
air.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
It's like the garbage dump in Star Wars.
Right. And she's like, it's just been sitting there for a few days. That's gross. That was gross. The dust on the shelves, that grossed me out.
I mean, there was no cleanliness. That once again, that is a big thing with all the bars they do go into. Most of the time, I will say 95% of the times, that is the biggest thing.
Oh, yeah. Because when these bars fail, they get neglected, or they were neglected and then they fail. There's a different order of how things happen, but almost universally, there are issues with cleaning when we go into these places, and some just astound me. This one, I would say there were some serious violations with the chicken not being cooked and things left out.
Yeah.
I have seen much worse. I have seen much cleaner. So
Yeah, I agree with you on that because some of the ones they have gone into were just nasty.
Yes.
But
If there are only two things, it was the dust. Oh, and the grease.
the grease.
And the chicken blood.
under that bar tap when they lifted it, so
Well, yeah, that
it was
that was gross
it was
too.
a cockroach community. They were no longer living, but they were big.
wow, they weren't living. Wow.
Why didn't they show that?
I don't know that they saw it. I just saw the picture because the guy I brought in to do the finish with Kits at Fine Finishes, he sent me a picture.
Oh my goodness.
And there were big cockroaches under that bar tap. Because we had to lift it so we could redo the finish. And it was nasty, and I'm so glad I missed that. He caught the shot and then must have swept it through it. I'm like, Mike, what is that? What? It was better that I not see that because I have to see so much all the time. You know, a little break's not bad.
That makes me want to throw up in my mouth right now.
Yeah.
I just okay. So real quick, back to the kitchen, real quick. Do you guys have any opinions about what was going on in the kitchen? How do you feel the chef felt about the kitchen?
I honestly, to be honest, in the beginning felt like she didn't care. She was just
Really?
there. That's the way
That's the way it certainly showed, and
Yeah.
from my dealings with her were very minimal. So I took what you guys took when I watched the show, and I would say there was a lack of interest, and certainly not a
There was
lot
no
of
oomph there.
enthusiasm at all. Yeah,
she was there just to collect a paycheck.
maybe
And that, that's what that's the way I took it. And if it's not, I'm wrong. I'll say that. But from what we saw and the way it played out, I just felt she just didn't care that much. But maybe it's because of everything else that was going around. She then didn't care that much.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe they haven't had a lot of food orders, so she lost her motivation, and then it's hard to pick that back up. And
I think so too. I mean, I don't think a lot of food was coming out of that kitchen.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, because even when they did the stress test, I'm just going to bring it up the food with the stress test. The way the chicken was coming out, they were frying it, but it was still raw in the middle.
oh yeah, that was horrible.
I know we're going to get to that, but I will never, from now on, no matter where I am
Break it
at,
open.
I will break open my chicken.
Yeah,
Everywhere
yeah,
now.
you want to.
Yeah, and I
That was horrifying.
And once again, John was like, "You're staying here overnight, and you're gonna clean this place."
Okay, you know what? You guys, his yelling, it didn't even faze her.
No.
I
it
mean,
was
nothing.
Like,
She was like,
It was as if she had a little shield
just
around her.
still slow. Just slow.
Yeah, but I
So-
mean, when they came back in the morning, the place looked great.
Oh, it did. It was
look
so
good.
clean
It was
looking.
so
And the
clean.
manager owned it. He that really impressed me that he said, it's me. We're going to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Well, the kitchen wasn't as bad. It was not. It definitely wasn't as bad as others.
yeah. We've seen others on this show where you're like, "Are you kidding me?" At any chance. What is it? At any, I wish I could remember it. At any, we can start a fire at any moment.
Oh, Brian Duffy.
Yeah, this place could go up in flames at any moment. I think
Which one
that's
was
what
that?
it-
That was recent.
Yeah, that was recent. That might have been. It wasn't Black Sheep, but the one right before that.
Yeah, I remember when he said that.
Because
too.
of the grease. Oh, isn't that where they
Was it
had
Olive Pit?
they had the animation of the thing blowing up?
Wasn't that Olive Pit?
It might have
or
been Olive
the
Pit.
OP that he said about the grease fire? Yeah.
It was the
I
OP?
think it was the OP. Yeah, and he was right.
I should tweet him and be
Tweet
like,
him.
"What was that saying?"
Can you say it again?
Yeah, can you tweet us if you're listening, Brian?
I know.
Because I know
Tell
you
us,
do
tell
listen.
us.
It's a good one.
You know they're listening. They're all listening right now. Shout out.
Yeah,
Bar
Call
Rescue
us.
tour.
I know, right? Wouldn't that be awesome? I tweeted them earlier, John, Nicole, and Brian Duffy. And it's like, hey guys, we're on tonight. Feel free to call in if you'd like. I mean, we won't just be sitting here waiting for you guys, but call us.
Keep checking my phone.
I know, right? I know. Keep that out so we can see. Make sure that if she does call, we get it.
I'll see
She
if
might be
Brian-
calling for the number. Oh, maybe we should say the number just in case.
Yes, go right ahead.
Hey, Marissa, do you want to go ahead and give us our new number?
Well, actually, we're 424-256-1729.
Awesome. Okay. Everyone needs to call in for that. Okay. So now let's go into the bar. it seemed like that was a big focal point too, more so than the kitchen on this episode.
Yes.
And it was a big bar. Physically.
All I can remember, what visual sticks out in my head is the dude's blue mohawk falling down the next day. I know that's like something so silly.
It was a great visual.
I want to talk about one quick thing before we go to the bar, because it does have to do with the kitchen.
Go ahead.
Those lips. First of all,
on the window?
Have you have ever seen
whose
Rocky
lips?
Horror Picture Show?
Yeah.
Am I right?
The second I walked in,
I was like, oh my God, it's the lips from the Rocky Horror Picture
in the
Show. And all of a
window.
sudden I wanted it to start singing to me. And I was like,
That's why we laid. That's why I grabbed Libby and I'm like, we're gonna lie in this and we're gonna be the tongue. That's why I did the picture.
Oh my
We're hanging out the
gosh.
window.
that's
It was so funny. It's the first thing I thought. That or Rolling Stone.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes. That,
That's
like,
a good
yes.
that's a good one. But definitely I still have
yeah.
to go, oh, let's do the time warp again. I was so excited. Sorry. I got off. Okay, now on to the bar. Sorry.
Okay, here we go.
Glad
into
we
the bar.
addressed that though.
So I know we actually couldn't have gotten through the kitchen without talking about the lips. And that was a focal point.
Because it was a strip club.
Yes, I wonder if it was a real
And
successful
getting
one.
your food out of an open mouth like that, just
Yeah,
that.
there's
I don't know.
somebody.
That was odd,
Yeah, I mean it could have been something else, but
especially if the food was coming out slowly as it usually was.
Yes.
wait, where's this going?
And I know. I'm just saying.
My brain just went somewhere
It'd be
else.
funnier if you threw the
Hold
food
on,
out.
we've got kids.
No, I was talking
we've
about
got-
projectile versus.
I know, I
slow
wasn't.
drip. Oh, sorry. That's not.
Okay, you know what? Before we get too off topic,
Yeah, let's get back to that bar.
I want to do a quick shout out to all the people that are downloading us on iTunes. So please remember to leave us comments, tell a friend, download us. You can also watch us live right now on AfterBuzz.com and catch it on YouTube in the morning at AfterBuzz TV. All right, so we're going into the bar. It was dirty.
Yes.
I think the first thing John and Michael picked up what do you call those thingies with the holes?
the
mats.
The drain mats.
And then there was a bunch of gunk under there. Mm-hmm. And then I know you had a really big issue with the glass. You've had an experience with that. You were just telling me about that.
yeah.
What happened?
I didn't get, it made sense at the time, but I guess I've never thought about using a glass to
Even
scoop
little
out
chips.
the
You
ice.
could be just getting tiny
Yeah.
chips that the bartenders
Yeah.
don't see.
Never occurred to me.
Yeah.
Dorinda's actually, go ahead.
It just drives me insane when I see someone do that. And it's happened to me, and I'm not afraid to call the place out. I was at Barney's Beanery.
Mm-hmm.
I was drinking a club soda with nothing else, just a club soda. and
You don't have to lie, Dorinda.
And as I'm drinking it, I was like, what is this? And I pulled out like 2 shards, like nice size shards of glass out of my mouth.
That you thought were ice.
And I was like, because I'm like, this isn't right. And that's all because you take your glass, you throw it in there. You're not thinking of anybody else. You're thinking about yourself and taking that extra step just to get a scoop. Or even like listen, I've been there where I've taken my tin and, scooped glass or whatever.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But never ice, but never a glass into that because you never know what you can definitely damage somebody. What happened if I had actually
Did you get
swallowed
cut?
it?
Oh, Lord.
My tongue. Yeah, I cut my tongue. But
So
yeah.
something did happen
Yeah,
to you. That's
exactly.
terrible.
Yeah. So you go into doing things like this, and they just didn't care. Once again, they didn't care.
Right.
The shortcut that cost you and
Yeah. And so going to this bar, they didn't care either
Right.
to what they were doing to their customers. They did care about what their pockets were doing.
Yeah, clearly.
Wow. That's what, then what do you say? On a Thursday night, it was 4:35.
On a
Gone.
Friday
And
night.
Friday was 7:15. So it was
Yes.
11:50. In just those 2 nights.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how in 2 months he was going to be out of business because he was losing so much money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, okay. So they go to the bar and they find out it's dirty, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone really knows how to make drinks.
Yeah.
That was
Nobody knew
pretty
how to make
clear.
drinks.
Except for the server who wasn't the bartender.
Right.
She was totally
But she came through. She came through towards the end.
beautiful mind of a bar.
I don't even know what else to say.
That was awesome.
I don't even know what else to say about the bar.
There's so much that we can say about the bar. I mean, they go in there, You have bartenders there who the only thing they care about being there is because they, once again, $715.
Yes. Either keeping their friends happy or pocketing.
Right.
And I'm guaranteeing you, they could be charging the people for the drink and just taking all of that and putting it in their pocket. I've seen people do that. I've seen people on so many levels like not charge people and just give them like some sort of bill and just they'll take that money. They'll do whatever it takes to make money. But $715,
that's
even 20% of that, even 20% of that is $140 that you're putting in your pocket that they're not seeing.
Right.
So, and what Kerwin said, which enraged me when he was talking to John, and I remembered it, the whole thing, when he said, they're stealing from you. And he's like, well, I'd rather keep them than hire someone else that would steal from me. And it reminded me of an old saying, it's better the devil you know than the devil you don't.
Exactly.
There, you're trying to figure that out earlier.
Yeah, that was driving me nuts. And really, I'd rather close because you're losing money, but I'd rather do that than have these people come in because they're robbing you blind and you're okay with that.
It's not blind. He knows. I mean, Dorinda, another thing he said was, I don't mind if they steal a little bit.
That's terrible.
That's what he said. And so that's what,
and there's, you know what that is? That's a major disrespect. And obviously the guy doesn't respect himself. And to be like, and he seemed like a nice guy, but in the same sense, he was that nice guy that people take advantage of because that's where his mental attitude was on, they steal a little bit. All right.
Yeah. Well, and then he was telling John as well that he does believe that people can change. And part of me, it started making me think that he comes from this small island, and he's in the land of dreams now. Yes, you want to think the best and that people can change. And you're okay with the way things are now because they're really not that bad, even though you might be going under in about 2 months.
But that's okay.
But I'd rather keep what I have than it's going to be more hard to start over.
Yeah. Well, and
that's why this was my least favorite. It's like I thought this was a joke
when you
at first.
see somebody just sliding like that, and clearly not making moves to undo it. And then when you see what happens in the end, there's a fine line between fear of loss and hope for gain, but also being wary of what you're dealing with.
Yes.
Okay, well, that'll just take us right after they left the bar, they had that confrontation with the employees, or John explaining who he was to the employees. And then you had Rodaya getting all ghetto.
That was awesome. I was so excited when I saw that.
What Rodaya or?
Just the whole interaction, because I always love how John deals with this kind of thing, but that was hilarious.
It was a joke.
It was.
It was a joke. What, you got something to say? What?
I was like, this is going to be it, guys. This is going to be it. We were always worried some guy was going to knock him out. It's going to be a chick.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be Rodaya.
I was rearrange furniture.
Exactly. Rearrange your furniture. That I'm using.
That was a threat.
I'm going to use that.
You know what? It did look like she was going to crack, though, because when she was doing her she was on camera, but she wasn't in with the rest of the bar, and she was doing her VOs after. It did look like it looked like she was going to crack. She could have cried.
Yeah, she was trying to be real tough, but you could see there were times when she softened up and was trying to come out and be more, I don't know.
I'm going to assume she is probably not there any longer. But considering he's gone back,
who knows?
And it is hard. People a lot of times what frustrated me is where he said that people can change, but yet he went back.
Right.
I think clearly we do know that the bar has gone back to what it was.
So I would figure that from everything I've seen and what I read at the end of the show. Yeah, and I did try to look.
So how do you feel? One, I thought, where are all the employees? Because I thought, one, it was understaffed the whole time. Especially when when I saw all of them there, I did not expect the guy to get blamed for stealing.
That shocked me too, and I was there.
It wasn't him that I thought was stealing.
No.
I mean, I didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
But it wasn't him, because he was so upfront about, I'm not going to lie. I've taken a little bit here and there. I've given away some free drinks.
I love when he's like, probably.
Oh, yeah, that was
really
harsh.
Probably. You know what probably means? Probably means yes.
Probably means yes. Probably is
it does?
It's yes light, but it's just
probably
as yes.
Means yes?
Yeah.
I'm on the right track. I'm just kidding. That was an inside joke. Sorry, that was an inside joke.
I don't even know it.
Okay, so
Okay, what episode?
back to and
Oh,
I
he
forgot.
just texted me back. What episode was it? Was it episode 4?
I think it's
The-
the OP.
down with the
Tell him I think it's
OPP.
the OP. It was about the grease in the that overhead.
Because we talked
vent.
about that, the visual of the fire.
And he said it would-
you guys
it
were
would pour
talking about the
down,
OP episode.
And
a
he
few.
said it would. He said it would be a what did he call it? Like a flame. Because it happened in my own kitchen, and so when he said it on the episode, I'm like, oh, that's what happened to me.
Right, right.
No, I do not need anyone to visit my kitchen.
Well, okay. You know what? Real quick. So I'm going to go off topic just for a minute, and we do want to recognize. We want to take just a second. So we're gonna have a moment of silence. No, I'm just joking. Okay, I'm not gonna make a joke out of this. It is 9/11, and we do have a special birthday girl here with us today. And her birthday is on 9/11. Have I already said that like 5 million times? And I'm gonna call you Luxbar again. And I know that's Lesper. What is it again?
Larkspur.
But what was your nickname for her?
Larky.
I got to do that
Yeah,
because
Larky's
I'll
good.
keep calling you Lesper, and that doesn't really sound really pretty or like a flower.
She's
Okay,
a flower.
so I need you to take off your headset, all right, for a second, and you're gonna make a wish. And for those of you watching, I hope, and Dad at home,
Yeah.
and brother, I hope
Jeff
you
and
guys
Connor.
can see the
Take a
the
look.
little cakey cake and
Maybe
lots
Grandma
of sugar.
Shirley.
So make a wish, and then I want you to cut. Did you make a wish?
Yeah.
Which wish?
Can't tell.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes, that's right. Exactly.
You got a point, I guess.
Exactly,
So
but I wish
make
for
your
the
wish,
same thing every year. That doesn't happen.
and then and you got to come blow
Start
out all your
telling people.
candles.
I know.
Yay. Yay.
Happy birthday! Yay! And the plastic is gonna light on
Larky.
fire. Do you love it?
Is the
Yeah, do you want, you can take it. She's
Wait,
like, do I
wait.
take it? Oh yeah,
Is it
hold it
on-
up and let your
on-
mama take a picture.
Online.
So you guys, for those of you that are listening in and not watching us currently right now, we just celebrated Larky's birthday, and she's a 9/11 baby, and Nancy's daughter, and so we're so glad to have them on set.
Yes, she joined me.
And what was that?
It was a horn. It was a birthday horn.
Wait a second. You got party
Nice
favors and
sound
didn't bring them
effect.
out, Marissa? What is wrong with you?
Oh my goodness!
I think that's a
So
sound effect.
you and Isabel, don't eat all of that before we leave. That's meant for you to actually. You can take it home. Okay, I mean you can eat a little bit now, but so happy birthday! We're so glad, so super glad that you're able to spend your birthday here with us today.
Yay. Thank you guys so much.
Okay. Oh, it's okay.
Wait a second, though.
But the cake didn't fall, right? Just as long as the cake didn't fall.
She's a stunt woman.
Woo!
all right,
Nice
And
catch,
she didn't lose the
Larky.
cake. Yes.
5 on that.
that was
Wow.
good. That was good. You saved the
Are you
cake.
Turn
okay?
around, step down,
Candy.
and yourself, more importantly.
Exactly. It's not all about the cake. I was just kidding.
Notice I didn't flinch. That means I have lots of children. If that was my only, I would have died. She was fine. Poor bunny.
That you know that little sound effect you just played, Marissa, not the hand clapping, but the you know, at funerals when they go that's I thought you were playing the start of that. And I was like, oh my goodness. Taps, yes. Thank you. Okay, so
I thought it was a sound effect when I heard her knee hit the couch.
Okay.
she's eating gummy worms. She's
And she's
all
good now. The
happy.
sugar will recharge her. Jeff, she's fine.
I have it.
Okay, so
I have it.
okay,
Ooh,
so
ooh,
Chef Brian
good.
texted back. Whoop! Shout out to you, yo.
We have an opportunity to kill people on a daily basis.
Yeah, that was it.
But
Yes.
this one wasn't that bad.
No.
I mean, at all, because he
No,
was
no.
peeling the grease off the walls with a spatula or the cat litter scoop.
Well,
or-
and that was
no.
black
I'm getting them
sheep.
all mixed up.
But it was the overhead
I'm getting
grease
them
that
all
was
mixed
going to
up.
start a fire at the
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
OP. This one was going to kill people with Campylobacter with the chicken,
Yeah.
Which was bad.
which is a slow death. I don't know.
Oh well, death. It's so permanent.
okay.
So okay, so back to Curvin and talking to his employees. So when he did find out who was actually stealing, okay, were you? I know that you were taken aback too when he couldn't fire him. He told him not to do it again.
Yeah, I did.
It's not gonna happen again.
He told him not to do it again. What I loved the most is then John questions everybody else around him, and everybody's like, "I'd be really pissed, fire him. I'd be so let down. I'd fire him. I'd be this. I'd fire him.
Even the girlfriend.
The girlfriend said it.
Even
When
the girlfriend
she said it,
said-
and then she said, "I'm shocked." Well, you just said you'd fire him. That I didn't get at all.
What? I don't think she was shocked that he got fired. I think she was shocked that he was the one caught stealing. I really don't.
Oh, do you think that's what she was talking about?
I
Because
don't
I
think
thought
she
she was
knew.
shocked with Curvin taking him out.
See, I thought it was because it's her boyfriend. And, oh my gosh, if I would be shocked if I found out that my boyfriend was stealing, and I didn't know.
God, that's not how
So
I
I'm not
saw
sure.
It, but I don't
It
know.
could
I
have
don't
been
know if
either
it was
one.
that she was shocked that he was stealing, or if she was shocked that Curvin went through with it. It seemed like it was because Curvin went through with it, and
Okay.
that's why I read him. And I don't know that. I
Right.
just know that I sat there thinking, "Wow, she just said she'd fire him."
Yeah, and then he takes it a step further. Curvin takes it a
Yes,
step
and he
further.
brings in that other story.
And first of all,
Yeah, that
I
wasn't-
I get it, but there's certain things you need to keep away from everybody else to not use it against you.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
good for her
For
for
her to be
saying,
like-
we've already talked about this, and I don't want to talk about it right now.
Sidebar.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I liked her. I really did. I liked her a lot, and but with the look on her face when he brought that up, I thought, I was like, we're gonna have a fight. And it wasn't going to be Rodaya. It was going to be her because she was like, "Are you kidding me right now?"
And you could tell by her face. She
could tell
was
they'd
not.
had
She
some kind of
didn't steal. She
conversation,
didn't do
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Very innocent. I mean, her face. Wow. I mean, it moved. I'm so used to faces not moving, and hers like really moved. And so it was like, wow. Whew. That was a major expression. But anyways, okay. So back
was.
to we are in LA, people. You
Her
girls
face
wouldn't
did
know about
drop
that.
on that.
For sure, for sure. So anyways, he did fire him. So we're all happy about that. The other employees obviously stepped up because next up comes the stress test, which seemed a little, at that moment is when I really, really thought, where are other employees going to come out? Because it seemed a little ridiculous. Layla, was she the only one? Because that was the
That's
only
how
way.
it
He
sounded.
kept going
Yeah.
and telling her to do this. You need to check in this person. You need to go get this order. You need to get this drink. You need to do, and it was like,
How can she do all of
was
that?
she the only one?
I had a huge problem with that too. First of all, instead of telling her what she needed to do, when you see that your server, your employee has all those tables there, is doing everything by himself, you don't go up and say to them,
Do this
"Do
too."
this. I need you to do this. Did you not see these people? Did you not?" No, you know what you do is you go and you help that person and say, "Oh, I'll be with you in a minute. Oh, can I get you something to drink? Oh, your server," whatever the case may be. But
Right.
you don't help your server by doing what he did because you're really
No.
just helping them to fail.
But he was also this is a new role for him.
He was micromanaging because he had not done it before.
he didn't
Yeah.
It's like
know.
the first mistake people make when they're managing.
I mean, just like when he
true.
fired that person, it's like it was
Yeah,
so.
it
I was laughing. It's like that. I would not have taken you seriously. I probably would have laughed in your face if you would have fired me like that.
I would have
I'd
came
been
back
like,
the
whatever.
next
Let's
day.
get back to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he probably could have stayed.
I bet you he got rehired.
I don't know.
I bet you.
Did you watch the whole episode?
I did, but why does it seem like I tend to miss
The closing statement.
things? Oh, I knew it.
It was
when my
still on the
TiVo
screen.
ended, and
Yeah,
it was 1
still on
minute
the screen.
before.
It does it all the time.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it does. It cuts that out. But that is an important moment because what it does is it says what happened after we left. And there's an important point there. Do you want me
Now
to share it?
wonder. Yes, I would love for you to.
He was brought
share.
back. He was brought back.
Okay, now I'm shocked. Do you see my face moving?
Yeah. Your face totally moved. That's a good sign.
I know. No.
Yeah, I know. And that, as soon as we saw that, and as soon as we heard that, it's like, what can you do? I mean, because obviously everything that John talked about to try and improve the situation, it sounded good, and Curvin liked the new theme, but
Right.
you know,
Oh wow.
People don't like change.
No.
And that's whether it's even if it's a change for the good, people stick with what you know, what
Yeah.
they know. And that's what he knew.
That was the mentality the whole time.
the business side of it for sure, because he seemed so excited about the theme that
Yeah.
we worked with was it Dominica?
Yeah, Dominica.
He loved that. He was excited about it and told us, all of us, that he thought it was fabulous. And then to see him take that and still think he better throw in the music venue, better bring back this guy he knows, and he now knows and admitted he was stealing. Come on.
Right.
You know what? He deserves it then. Sorry.
Curvin?
Yeah, he deserves that. If you, and you know, I hate to say it, and he's a nice guy, but if that's what you're gonna do,
Well, he owns other businesses. That's what surprised me.
Yes, he has quite a few barbershops. That's what came up a lot when I Googled. And then, of course, when I watched it, it's like, there's all these barbershops. And I think as a bar owner, it's like, I think you need to be there quite a bit. If you're going to go under in 2 months, you're not going to have 4 other businesses and running a bar part-time.
Right.
I mean, I don't think it works like that. I know we had a manager, but I also had every employee was stealing, except Layla. And maybe the blue cock. I mean, oh, Jesus.
Mohawk.
The Mohawk.
You were talking about them. I get it.
Okay, you know what? Let me take a break of myself for a second and just go ahead and announce real quick that on September 25th, y'all, we want to give a shout out to Fox because their new lineup is coming out with New Girl, Ben and Kate, and Mindy Calling with the Mindy Project. So you guys, make sure you tune into Fox September 25th at 8 p.m. Okay, that didn't put my mind back at ease. So the Mohawk. You guys, I feel like we missed the whole bar. I want to talk about real quick and Michael training the Mohawk dudes. Is that stress test? Yeah, because we did the bar.
Was that training before stress?
That was training before. That was
before the stress test. He did
Are
a
you
training
sure?
session. Yeah, because he was teaching them to mix.
Yeah.
Because
he was teaching them to mix the new drinks so they'd, so they'd be ready for the stress test.
Which they couldn't do during the stress test.
They clearly were, they couldn't do. They did the training and he still couldn't get the
That's what, okay.
Yeah.
I just about died when he didn't know which glass went on, what drink went into what glass, and then the whole fruit punch comment.
That was funny. That was very funny.
So hard.
You miss lines when you're laughing out loud.
I know. I was dying. I mean, it was so funny to me.
That was
and that
a great
poor
call.
dude.
How many drinks have you gotten like that? Where you say that when it comes to the table. That was really funny.
I know. It's, one time it was when we went to go watch this band play, and I got a vodka grapefruit, and it was like. It just didn't taste right. And then it didn't occur to me when the girl was smelling. I'm not sure if the vodka is like, if it's not clean, fresh, if the vodka is fresh or not. But she still gave it to me anyway. And of course, I still drank it.
This milk is getting old.
That is horrible.
Why would you do that?
Sure, I'll take it because I'll drink anything. Hello. That's like I think we've been visiting quite a few, not just to go get drunk. It's like we notice more things. So I'm noticing more things now when we go out. And like the other day, we were at some music venue, and they had this special where it was a shot of whiskey. I don't even think it was Jack Daniels. No. And then PBR, which is beer.
Yeah, and a can.
For anyone
so
that
was
doesn't
the beer
know that.
back on the whiskey?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I don't drink that. I'll take the vodka. And he pulls out a gallon of vodka, and it was like. Oh my gosh.
Maybe not that vodka.
But of course I drank it. So, vodka's vodka. Just kidding for any real bartenders watching.
Yeah.
Okay, this is turning into. We should have wine glasses here just to have them, so people would think there was a reason.
Cake, there's the sugar. Oh,
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so the stress test. Obviously, it wasn't successful. And that is where John found out that, I don't know how he eyeballed that chicken from so far, but that seemed a little odd to me. I mean, obviously it was raw.
Yeah.
But he's like, that chicken doesn't look. And it's like, John, where are you?
It was the way the exterior was. It had that chalkiness on the outside, so he spotted it because the color was wrong. That's how he knew there was something not right.
I was wondering. I was like, how did he see that?
Yeah, he saw it because it didn't look like fried chicken. It looked like it was fried chicken that you'd taken chalk and kind of tipped it with.
Yeah, and
really?
Yeah, it had a different. Mm-hmm.
And the way they were cooking the onion rings was not the way that they were doing the chicken strips, and so that's where you would have like the onion rings were burnt, where the chicken strips, when you opened them up, were raw.
Right.
And so
they were overusing the fryer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a problem. Mm-hmm. And that, and you had 2 fryers there. That's what they were side by sides, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2 side by sides, and they were overusing both of them because everything was fried. I think they just
every single thing was fried, and so that's when they went into the Caribbean theme.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there could be some things that were grilled, and just to give the fryer a break so it could keep up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But with this stress test and with everything, and our Mohawk friend, who, you know, I did like, and I loved his Mohawk, and I wanted to root for him, but he had been bartending there. How can you not? If you've been bartending, even if you hadn't had training, okay? If you haven't had training, you would at least know certain things. Like when Michael Tips was trying to show him things, you would think that this guy...
He was not absorbing it.
Yeah.
No.
Like...
But Layla was.
Yeah, yeah, she was.
Yeah, she totally got it.
Yes, she did. She
From
wanted
across the room, she was listening.
But yeah, no, she got it, and she understood. And that poor guy, like, I felt bad for him, but then I didn't feel bad for him because you've been a bartender for a while, and you couldn't get a simple drink.
Right. But he wasn't upset because when they
No.
moved him back, I mean, I thought he took it really well. He
It was
knew
almost
his
as if he'd been
weakness.
advanced before. I mean, it was interesting. Yeah, he took that too so well.
He's like, well,
Yeah.
some people are better at other things. It just wasn't my night. And he went out into the floor, which I thought was appropriate. And plus, he seems friendly and stuff, and I'm sure he's a good people
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
It's probably better for him to be there. And Layla, being a pretty girl, obviously knowing how to make the drinks and having fun with the customers, obviously was better suited behind the bar.
Yes, I agree.
you know.
100%.
A focal point person.
Oh yeah. Because you want, at the end of the day, when you go into a bar, we're women. It's great to have a guy wait on us and flirt with us, and it always feels good. But I'll tell you, from being a bartender for as many years as I did and making the money I made, you got to know how and to like really make people like you. Guys, it's pretty easy, you know what I mean? If you're a girl and you're even halfway cute, you know? But with even women, you know, you got to be able to have camaraderie and make them feel comfortable and stuff like that. Where I feel that Layla had that.
Oh, she totally did.
Like,
She
I could
related.
totally tell that she was relatable, that you could, as a woman, sit down with her and have a conversation with her. And as a man, I'd want to ask her out on a date. That's what you want with a bartender. It is.
Yeah.
It is. Because they're
Wanna
going to
feel
give you
comfortable.
the monies.
Wait, but we don't date bartenders.
Those days are
But you want to have a nice time when you're there and enjoy
Yeah.
your time.
Yeah, I enjoyed her.
Yeah, and she was great. Yeah, she
Great
was
personality. Came across really well.
and that's what they needed behind
Yeah,
that
and they
bar,
needed
be
somebody to come
honest.
across professionally because clearly they were not.
Right. You know, I wonder too, watching it, how many, I don't think like they had a slew of customers every day either, or every night. I mean, it seemed like just from some of the shots that they had that the bands come in there, they play their music. It's the fans of the band,
Yeah.
you know, whether it's 5 people or 10 people. And that's who they're really servicing. This was not a place, even though it's been an established bar, well, strip club. It's been an
Yeah.
established business for what, 40 years? 40 plus years
40,
in
yes.
Reseda?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It didn't seem like it didn't really cater to any particular kind of
Nobody in
person.
particular.
No one was really there. So I can imagine, regardless of the stealing that his employees were doing, you know, to him, it would have still went under.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because I
So-
mean, what did and Michael Tips said this, and it was perfect. He said, from the outside, it looks like a bird cage.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
that was a good.
Yeah, it looked like a bird cage because when you looked at it, it was red. It was like all red.
It was all red. I
Yeah,
likened
all
it
red.
to like a barbecue store where you go
Yeah.
to buy a barbecue. Aside from the name.
Yeah. Oh,
I-
that's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
The second
didn't
I
even
saw it,
think
I was
of
like,
that.
wow.
I didn't even think of that.
What am I going to buy here?
Okay, well, since we're talking now about the outside and Nancy,
Oh, yes.
okay, let's go into the restructure of Weber's.
Indeed, yeah. Well, it needed to stand apart from the other buildings around it. The buildings around it were just kind of dilapidated and neglected, and then it had this old red paint job, and it was not
Right.
inviting. It was actually, it had kind of almost like a seedy element to it, and you can play that up, but play it up. Don't just get that because you walked in, bought the bar as is, and then didn't do anything.
Right.
Including clean it. So John wanted to give it so much more and something specific to Curvin, and by changing the outside, making it bright, making it beautiful and approachable, the demographic was going to be singles and couples and people that would feel comfortable and not unsafe. It had a little bit of that OP element of seediness, backside and front side, which you probably didn't see on the show. The backside also was, there were lawnmowers parked next to the entrance to the backside because there was a lawnmower store. So you were like, where am I going? Am
I thought
going
this was like a town where people pulled up in their lawnmowers.
It would have been funny,
Get
but
it?
it appeared that way because when you'd walk down, so it was unapproachable, and the inside was neglected, and the wall of mirrors was crazy, especially when they were doing punk events. When we walked in, one of them was smashed out. Somebody obviously had been, slam dancing and thrown their friend or thrown themselves into the wall, and that was apparently a common occurrence. So it was an easy fix to say we're going to take the mirrors out.
Wow. Could
Because
you
it wasn't
imagine, though, if
even
you're on
helping them.
something, that's probably like pretty exciting.
Oh, yeah.
And like, and then it's
Yeah.
whoa, did you see that?
If I did that, I would be like, oh my God, 7 years of bad luck. My life just sucks right now.
Yeah.
But,
No, but it was a regular occurrence. So there were things that they just said, oh, well, it wasn't functional for what they were doing.
Right.
Okay.
But they just left it. And then they were replacing the panels as they broke. And I'm like, why would you put any money into an element that's actually a problem for you, a hazard, and it's a continuous problem?
Yes, Dorinda. As she raises her hand.
I know I went from the outside to the inside, but that
no,
was...
but that is the definition of insane.
Oh, yeah,
Of
insanity.
like insanity of you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. No,
That one I know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
I know that one too.
I think we all do at some point of our life. But
Learn from us, girls.
Ooh, yes.
Avoid it.
at any cost. But the point being is like you just said, they kept putting up these mirrors, right?
Yes.
And they
Replacing
kept
them.
replacing them. You know what? It's still gonna happen.
Yeah. You have
Yeah.
slam dance going on. People are crowd surfing. What do you think's going to happen?
Might be kind of fun for them. I don't know.
I guess.
Serious.
I guess it just didn't.
There's a lot of work to take the mirrors down, I'll tell you that. So that's probably why they felt that it was easier to just replace the one panel because that was a whole wall. And it was a complete hazard when they were coming down. It took a lot of time to take those down. They were
So
massive.
was this a 3-day project?
It was
or
the
did you have-
36 hours. It's
Okay,
the
the
standard.
same. Okay.
But I brought in a professional crew to do that because my team was like, whoa, we don't want anyone to get cut. And it's much smarter to have glass pros
Okay.
with they had the suction cups and then the drop panels. They were doing it as safe. Well, I watched how they did it, and I wouldn't want to work for that company. But at the same time, they did an effective and complete job. But it was just seemed so scary. Because it really was. It was
Where does all of the material that you guys pull out of the bar go to? Like, do you
we store
donate
it?
some? Does
No,
some-
we never donate it. We keep everything that we pull out of the bar. They still own it. If it's something that gets broken in the pullout and they understand that's happening, we disclose that to them. So when the mirrors were gone, obviously they didn't come out solid.
Right.
No way. And sadly, and I will say, the lips did not make it.
Of course
Somebody was
not.
asking about that. They did not make it because they had to be cut off the wall. They were fiberglass. They were built like a ride at the fair. Those things were in there. And so Steve and Jordan they went crazy on that. And I said, hey, Steve, try and save the lips because I was on a break. And he goes, yeah, whatever. I come back, he goes, no, didn't happen.
I'm going to break those.
That's all. But they were cool.
They were awesome.
I did. I wanted to save them and give them back to Curvin. I thought that would have been fun. But to take them out.
I think it was
in the
best
time
that they
period.
were probably broken.
Because they would have
not
gone
on
back up.
purpose. Because they
No,
would
they
have gone back
absolutely
up.
weren't on purpose.
It just seems like everything would have. Well, I thought the place looked beautiful when you guys finished it.
I did
and
too.
they seemed
It
very
was fun.
appreciative.
I
of-
did some research of the island where Curvin was from. So some of the palette came from that when John and I were talking about what he envisioned. And I wanted it to be as at least refer to things that were familiar to Curvin. It was a
Right.
guess. I just did research.
Right.
I had never been to that island. I had been to the Bahamas with Larky before that. But and when he said to me, it's like you've been there, I was wow. That's awesome. That was really
So
nice.
your research paid off for him.
Yeah.
And you take the time to do that.
Yeah,
which
it
is
really
awesome.
mattered.
Yeah.
and where John wanted to go with it, when we were talking, I got it, and I knew that it had to be personal. It took from what we did on other shows where it was one of those things that mattered. I bond to something, I hear something, and then John says what he wants, and we put it together. And in that case, I left there and I felt awesome. I felt like this guy was going to make it. I felt like he was going to follow through, and that having a theme based on his homeland would make it that much more powerful, and he would do it. And it seemed to fall back on employees, and it seemed to fall back on relationships.
Yeah, he didn't take ownership, and that was the problem. Just like you did with the movable bars.
Yes, which was cool. John said to
the
do
stage,
that.
the elevated stage.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
John told me that's what he wanted to do. And
what
I was
a way to
thinking,
utilize space.
A lot. And as soon as we did it, and I brought in a friend who's a great welder, Chris built those brackets, and it was easy. It was so easy. And John's like, see, Nance, this is what I was talking about. Like, that is awesome.
Yeah, that's a great way to utilize space. And he said each chair was worth $10,000 a year.
Yes. We talked about that before. Yeah, that's a huge.
Yeah. I think I think it would be frustrating. It's like a therapist who has a client, and the client never gets better.
Right.
And it's like you just. Oh, you're so, or a music instructor.
You give them the fishing pole, you give them all the things, and they're just like.
And and you know what? They're just never going to get it.
And what I don't understand is like even, excuse me, Keith took the time out. Look at the menu he put together.
Right.
Look at that menu he put together. That was an amazing.
Really yummy.
And Kervin said.
Yeah, delicious, right?
Yes. Yeah, it looked fantastic.
That's where we thought it would attract that local community because it would be so fun, unique, and interesting. You'd have a little vacation when you went in there.
But but do you think that because it is kind of a dive bar, it's in a seedy area, that
live music venue, and
it does change
underground feeling,
right? But it wasn't getting the clientele they wanted. You guys fixed it all up, changed all the food. It's like sometimes I think that the bar owners don't have the patience to wait it out because it does take time to get those clients back in. It's just because it changes. I mean, the next day at 6 p.m. or whenever they open, they're going to come rushing in. No, but I don't think that he really gave it enough time, and he was so comfortable with being surrounded by people that steal and things falling apart.
Yeah.
That naturally he would go back to that because you're going to fall within your comfort if you're not ready to change or willing to change.
Now, my question is, how does he run his other businesses?
Well, that was what I was thinking. He's got
the barbershops.
3 barbershops. So is he concerned about stealing in those places, or is he okay with a little stealing?
But I wonder because they're barbershops. I mean, there's probably one or two, and they're
probably all cash business.
Barbers, right? Where they buzzards.
Yeah, especially when barbershops are more on a lower price point
for sure
than going to.
Well, what he might do though is rent the chairs out. If he rents the chairs out, then he doesn't have to follow the accounting. So hopefully he does that, and maybe if that's the case, to play devil's advocate, he thinks he can run the bar that way in that kind of trust and right. Maybe you should rent out to bartenders. Maybe that's a new business. John, what do you think?
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
You know what? I think all of the chefs from the Bar Rescue need to have a little tour and have little tastings everywhere.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
Oh, my gosh.
I love to taste. I love to taste.
I'm like all up in Chef Greenie's business ever since I saw him on the show. And Chef Greenspan. I'm like, Chef Greenie. That's his Twitter. Chef Greenspan owns the Foundry, and he was also on one of the episodes. So I'm like following, what specials do you have this Friday? Oh, tomorrow you've got a fight and flight, or a flight and whatever. It's 3 drinks and 3 appetizers. What's going on Thursday?
Yeah.
Have you ever been there? Have
Yes.
you ever? Well, we've been
there together.
But we didn't
Okay, it sounds like Dorinda and I go to bars a lot, and you know what? We just put a whole year into like a weekend. Okay, so we really don't.
I've been to many bars. I have to go back and tell my children.
Yeah, but the food there is fantastic because we didn't eat. We only drank.
We
there
just drank.
We drank.
Okay, we drank club soda.
Yeah, and a friend of ours was performing who is
That's
amazing.
the only reason we went.
But the food is amazing. So if you ever get a chance to go there and to Chef Greenspan's restaurant, please go. It's called The Foundry. It is on Melrose.
Yes.
Since he is part of Bar
And there's
Rescue,
patio in the back, right?
Out.
There's patio in the back that you wouldn't know unless you kept walking.
Yeah, there's a beautiful patio in the back that nobody would know about.
Yep. So we're telling you, see, look, you're getting this inside scoop right here on AfterBuzz TV.
Where to go?
The Foundry has a patio. Okay, you guys. So I want to thank you Larky. I had to think about that for a second. I want to thank you so much. So much. And you as well for being here with us today. And thank you for celebrating your birthday with us. And I want to thank you, Nancy, so much for driving down, up, over. Where's it?
The river and through the woods. It was easy.
There you go. Through the river, through the woods, 3 miles of snow. Thank you so much for joining us
no
this
problem
evening.
at all.
And Dorinda and I are going to be back here next week for episode 8. I want to thank all of you listening. Don't forget, download us on iTunes. You can also watch us tomorrow morning on YouTube. I'm Kimlai. You can follow me at Kimlai Yingling. Dorinda, shout out your Twitter handle.
You can follow me at Lula Cherry Films at Twitter.
Awesome. And Nancy?
You can follow me at artnanners.com.
You guys tweet us. Ask us anything you want. That way we can, we'll share it next week on the show. So tweet us any questions you have. Maybe you'll have some questions for Nancy. She does do the production design for Bar Rescue Season 1 and 2.
Happy to answer, yeah.
Happy to answer. Thank you guys so much. Take us out, Marissa.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.